Thank you. Hopefully this will be a little bit lighter than what was delivered this morning. So, abuse of older people in rural and remote areas of Australia is a neglected and growing health issue. It is hidden and remains a silent discussion not had. Too often, rural and remote communities are ignored or considered as all being alike. An example I can use of this is in my own area. When I get in my car and drive from my small town into a larger town which is central, the challenges can be different for both these communities. To address this, we need to consider the ways communities can be empowered to create change that will be sustainable over time and meaningful for the particular community. Individual communities are unique and full of diversity. When considering a community's needs, we need to not only think about their location, but also their particular socio-economic challenges, multicultural population, access to services and professionals, and education and support they receive. If the community has a strong core base with inclusion, participation and involvement for all ages, this is the ideal world. How can this be utilised to create change? Or if it is lacking, how can it be addressed? I'm going to talk about a few of the challenges from my rural area, Tangambalanga. Now, can everybody say that, Tangambalanga? I will test you all out at the end of this to see if you can remember how to say Tangambalanga. We need a plan, what, why and how. We already know the why, as we are all here today together to create change. We also need a community toolbox where all the information, ideas and resources are put in. I will start with the what. What we need in Tangambalanga, there's that word again. Access to information, resources, education and training that may be out of our community area. Better access and usage of technology such as Skype. This should be inclusive of all our school children as part of a community connection and engagement project. We do need to understand our Generation Z. If we want them to have interest and engage them within our community, we have to do it from their level of interest. Life ends for my 13-year-old son when he's on a technology ban or when the iPad is flat. 3 million Australians are not digitally tuned in to technology. My son has a role here. We need our children involved. Advocacy services need to be available in the direct community for all older people, carers and support people that are inclusive of residential care facilities. You all heard the lived experience this morning, advocacy services over 4 hours away for my father. The need for advocacy service for my family and carers like myself is just not there. Social media has become an avenue for many to seek support or someone to listen to their own lived experience. Some of these sites are very good, some others, as we've heard today, are not. One site that has over 1,000 people following, seeking information and support is Dementia Down Under, founded by Brett Partington. Brett is doing some amazing work on a voluntary basis from his own lived experience and has been nominated for an award. Community participation is needed in developing an elder abuse toolkit that is available in hard copies for all those that do not have access to digital technology. We want your help to do this with us, but we don't want you writing it and doing it for us. We need our input for it to be utilised in our community toolbox. We need to look at our language. The term elder abuse is frightening older people. Our toolkit needs another name. Like our school children, if we want older people interested, engaged and willing to participate, we need to know and understand what they want. I can assure you a technology ban and a flat iPad is not going to be on their radar as important. Now, the most important, how? How are we going to engage with our consumers, members of our community, to create change? We are going to go to them, we are going to track them down and seek them out. They are not going to come to us. We need the face-to-face conversations with Tangambalanga residents. Identify where they frequent. In Tangambalanga, the hub is the general store. The giveaway is the trucks parked out the front with the hay bales and the kelpies on the back. They all go in for their paper, Kiwa milk, yes, back on the shelves, and have a chat. All the conversations with their concerns happen here. We need local community knowledge to create the roadmap of resources and information. All services, organisations, CWA, Lions, Rotary, church groups, schools, sporting clubs, stock and station agents, it goes on. We need to look outside the box and think of every single person in your community as a potential resource that can go in that community toolbox. The community toolbox is the link that will connect everyone. Someone in that toolbox will know that their farming neighbour is 85 years of age and is isolated and at risk. And I think, like Kylie mentioned, it's just having your community aware of somebody out there. Community leaders and ambassadors. I'm going to use the example of the Alpine Valleys Community Leadership Program I am participating in up here. In the group, we have diversity. We all have one common interest, to be community leaders and make a difference. What I have come to realise is that all of my group are invaluable resources that offer branches to networks not even considered before. In my group is Nicola. Nicola is part of a community garden at Bright. In the garden are private gardens. Ruby, 80, Italian, who fled her homeland during the war. Retired farmers have their plot as well. If they have to move from where they currently live within their community, they retain their gardens, but more than that, their purpose and connection. Nicola is a teacher at the Alpine School. The children come to help in the garden and Ruby mentors them. This is just one example. When I graduate in May, I will be part of an alumni of 391 graduates. The tree branches and networks expand further. So for the very last time in the hub of Tangambalanga, we need to place the community toolbox and create a community tree. We have the community values instilled within us. We just need to make sure we instill them into others, together making change. Thank you.